Imagine you're approaching the final hour of an early morning IFR flight. The weather's tough, visibility is low, and after hours of scanning instruments and maintaining focus, fatigue starts to weigh on you. Just how prepared are you to handle this level of mental strain? Fatigue isn't just about feeling tired. It's a serious factor in aviation safety. Let's look at a real-world example that shows how fatigue management can make the difference between a smooth landing and a critical mistake. In 2013, UPS Flight 1354, a cargo flight operating from Louisville to Birmingham, faced a tragic scenario influenced by pilot fatigue. Approaching the runway in the early morning hours, both pilots were severely fatigued due to disrupted sleep and a long duty time. As they descended, fatigue impaired their judgment and response times, causing them to misjudge the approach altitude. This led the aircraft below the safe minimum altitude, and without time to correct, they impacted a hillside short of the runway. This accident serves as a stark reminder of how fatigue can undermine critical decisions, particularly in demanding conditions. The NTSB's investigation into this accident underscored the effects of sleep loss and fatigue. For pilots, it's a reminder that even when the flight seems routine, fatigue can be a hidden risk that impacts focus, judgment, and timing, all essential in IFR flying. Instrument flying demands intense mental focus, which can be compromised by fatigue in subtle but serious ways. It can lead to slower responses to ATC instructions, mistakes when reading instrument data, or even mental lapses during high-stakes moments like descent and approach. Here are some strategies for managing fatigue in IFR flying. Include rest in pre-flight planning. Just as you wouldn't skimp on fuel, don't cut corners on rest. Plan time for quality sleep before your flight. Fatigue is cumulative, and starting well-rested makes a big difference. Use autopilot mindfully. In steady conditions, let the autopilot handle the workload when appropriate. It's not about tuning out or becoming children of the magenta line, but about pacing yourself to keep mental reserves ready for the approach. Stay hydrated and eat smart. Fatigue creeps in faster when you're dehydrated or low on energy. Keep water handy and pack healthy snacks that give sustained energy without causing spikes and crashes. Stay engaged to prevent zoning out. It's easy to zone out during long cruise periods. Instead, keep mentally engaged. Review your approach plan, brief your approach, check fuel status, or update your arrival calculations. Active engagement keeps you sharp. Recognize your limits. If you feel your concentration slipping or fatigue clouding your judgment, consider a missed approach or even diverting if necessary. Prioritizing safety over schedule is a mark of professional airmanship. The lesson from UPS Flight 1354 is clear. Fatigue is a serious threat in aviation. For IFR pilots, staying ahead of fatigue is about preparation, awareness, and being willing to make the tough calls if something doesn't feel right. In my live online Instrument Ground Instructor Academy, we go beyond the basics to cover real-world IFR scenarios like fatigue management so you can sharpen your skills and stay prepared. Interested? Send an email with the subject "Join the Waitlist" to chickswhoflyofficial@gmail.com and start mastering IFR with confidence.